Good evening, and welcome to our first ever broadcast of Lasell Weekly, the only Lasell television show reviewing news, sports, and fashion, all in one. I'm your co-anchor, Adam Hollenbeck.
And I'm co-anchor, Colin Froment.
And we've got a great show for you tonight. Let's kick it off with this week's school events.
A big week at Lasell College with the conclusion of spring break, as the School of Business hosted their first annual Business Day this past Wednesday, which featured keynote speakers and an internship and career fair as networking opportunities for business students. The event also included Lasell's version of Shark Tank, where the student winner received a grand prize of $2,000.
That is a lot of money.
Actual Shark Tank contestant from 2017, Jeff McNeil, founder of Keepsake, made an appearance as one of the guest panelists.
Thursday was the fan favorite bingo, and some lucky winners took home a Yeti cooler, a pair of Red Sox tickets, virtual reality goggles, and more. Cab also announced at bingo that Cousin Stiz, Swooly, and Almond will be performing at the Lasell College Spring Concert on April 5th in DeWitt Hall. Go make sure you check that one out.
President Michael Alexander announced that Congressman Joe Kennedy III will be the commencement speaker at this year's graduation ceremony. Kennedy was elected into Congress in 2013 and previously served as Assistant District Attorney in Middlesex County and the Cape and Islands. Congressman Kennedy is committed to a large number of platforms, including social justice, mental health issues, transgender rights, and marriage equality. This year's commencement ceremony will be on May 11th.
This past Saturday, March 23rd, was the school's annual Relay for Life event that honored those who lost their lives battling cancer while recognizing survivors. Lasell student clubs and organizations formed teams and received hundreds of dollars in donations in support of the overall Relay for Life organizations. Those who attended played a large amount of games, participated in the Luminary Walk to raise additional money, and listened to survivors and families share their powerful stories. The event occurred until early hours of Sunday morning.
And finally, also on this past Saturday, Lasell Day welcomed a large amount of accepted high school students to campus in the hopes of them to join the class of 2023. Potential incoming students got to explore the various student clubs and organizations to join, as well as hear from students, faculty, and President Alexander. And here's what's coming up for Lasell events in the near future. Boomer celebrated his 10th birthday today, March 25th, and during a celebration organized by the Student Alumni Association. Everyone here in the studio wishes Boomer a happy birthday.
This Wednesday, Cab is streaming Academy Award winner A Star is Born in the Rosen Auditorium starting at 8 p.m. The film is another remake highlighting a classic love story starring Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga.
This Thursday, the Spring Drama Production has their opening night of their two one-act shows, Refugee Women and Trifles in the Strength of Women, starring our very own Adam Hollenbeck.
Thank you, Colin.
On Thursday and Friday, the show begins at 8 p.m. and will run until 9:30. Then on Saturday, the show will begin at 2 p.m. and run until 3:30. All shows will be in the Yamawaki Auditorium.
Now let's move on over to sports with Taylor Viles.
Good evening and welcome to the first sports segment in the history of Lasell College TV. I'm Taylor Viles. It has been a very exciting week in the world of sports on and off campus, and this week we are focusing on 4 games. On Monday the 18th, the women's lacrosse team trounced Emerson College 15-6. Lasell's high scorers in this one, with 3 goals each, were junior midfielder Georgia Bergen and senior attacker Vanessa Pino. Pino also notched an assist of her own. With the win, the Lady Lasers improved to 5-1 overall. A special congratulations to Vanessa Pino on her 200th career point in the most recent game last Thursday. On Tuesday, the men's lacrosse team got into action against Wentworth College, pulling out a 9-8 victory in overtime. Wentworth scored 6 goals in the fourth quarter to push the game into extra time. Luckily for the Lasers, freshman attacker James Anderson only needed 2 minutes and 40 seconds to secure the game winner. The goal was Anderson's second of the game, and after the game, DJ Sinclair spoke with the head coach of the Lasers, Bill Mason.
Hello, Laser fans. We're here with head coach Bill Mason. Lasell defeated Wentworth today 9-8. Coach, what did you think about today's game?
It was definitely an adventure in that fourth quarter. We started the game, the first 3 quarters, playing really good fundamental lacrosse, and that's a really good team on the other side of it. Every game they've played in, their fourth quarters have been electric. They light the scoreboard in the fourth quarter, so we knew that was coming. We still had trouble stopping it. We made some errors, but this team is resilient. They're really gritty, and they were able to win the face-off at the end with Dave Sheehan, a senior leader for us. Kind of said, put me on the wing, I want to get the ball. And when you have a senior captain says that to you, you say okay, and you get out of the way. And he was able to win the ball for us, and we were able to win the game. So
Now a 4-game winning streak. What can you take from today's game moving forward to Alberta's Magnus on Saturday?
yeah, I mean, anytime you can make that many mistakes and still come out with a win, you can take away a lot from a game like that. So we're gonna watch a lot of those mistakes on film and try and clean it up, and then get ready for our second league game with Alberta's Magnus coming in here on Saturday. So it should be fun.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
With the win, the men improved to 5-1 overall. Later on Tuesday night, the men's volleyball team played in what may have been the sporting event of the week on campus. With Johnson & Wales University in town, the Lasers were staring at the wrong end of a potential 3-set sweep and a quick night at the Athletic Center. Instead, the team was able to crawl their way back into the match, winning the 3rd set by 3, the 4th set by 2, and the winner-take-all set by 2, with the last several points going back and forth. Junior Scott Sterenberg led the Lasers offense with 14 kills. After the match, Sinclair spoke with acting Lasers head coach Dana Jones.
Hey Laser fans, we're here with head coach for the men's volleyball team, Dana Jones, who had an impressive comeback today against Johnson & Wales. Coach, what did you tell your team after that second set after being down 2-0?
I mean, we just tried to approach the game the same way, make some small adjustments and tell them to battle back, and they did. And all we can do is to try to make adjustments during the game and see where things are going, and fell on our side this time, so glad about that.
What can you take from this game moving forward to Colby Sawyer on Thursday?
I think that we have the ability to hang around with anyone in our league, so we just got to continue to gain momentum, especially that we had off this game, and just keep it going.
Thank you very much.
With the victory, the team improved to 10-11 overall and 4-3 in conference play. On Thursday evening, the Lasell baseball team hosted Wentworth College for their first home game of the season. The Lasers, coming off a 3-game losing streak, pulled out a 3-2 come-from-behind victory. Down 2-1 entering the 6th inning, Lasell was able to find some lucky bounces and scored the game's tying and go-ahead runs because of multiple errors in the inning. The game's winning run was sent home by a David Marcel hit. Marcel finished the game going 3 for 4 with a walk, and Dylan Fiduccio picked up the win in relief, allowing 1 hit and 2 walks over 2 innings of work. With the win, the Lasers improved to 8-5. I'm Taylor Viles, and that's what's been going on in campus sports.
Thanks, Taylor. Now to Corinne McDougall to give us the forecast for this coming week. Corinne?
Thanks, Adam and Colin. Well, it looks like spring weather will be finally making an appearance this week. Today was mostly sunny with a high of 48. Tuesday, we're looking at sunny with a high of 44, and Wednesday will be mostly sunny with a high of 46. Thursday will be mostly sunny with a high of 55 as we're breaking into more spring weather. Friday will be partly cloudy with a high of 64, with Saturday AM showers with a high of 62, and Sunday more showers in the afternoon. I'm Corinne with Lasell Weekly. Back to you, Adam and Colin.
Thanks, Corinne. And now for this week's Fashion Spotlight. This week we feature Maggie McGovern, a sophomore fashion design student busy with numerous clothing projects as Lasell's Fashion Week approaches. Take it away, Ellie.
Hello, my name is Maggie McGovern.
What inspired you to pursue a career in fashion design?
One of my really good family friends, Maeve, and I, as kids, we'd always say we'd open a fashion boutique and call it Double M Fashion because we both have M names. And from there, I've kind of taken that idea as something that I can actually really do and want to do, so I've really put a passion into fashion, and I've made it into something that I really want to study and make my career out of. The first time I sewed was a little pillowcase, and it had shamrocks all over it. It was just like a little fleece thing, but I was so proud of myself because I had just learned to sew, I just got a new sewing machine, and my dance seamstress had taught me, so I was so happy. I definitely think fashion is an art. I like to create structural pieces where you can add elements to it to make it whimsical and more natural and not as necessarily geometric, but more fun to it. The first thing I do is I really start to think of colors, and when I'm given an assignment, I'm thinking what kind of colors that will go towards it, and I'm really inspired by colors. I love using bright colors and mixing them and doing pretty much a whole rainbow. But I think after I've kind of picked what kind of mood I'm going for, I can kind of think of what I want to make in my head, and a lot of the time I'll edit from that as I'm designing and sketching. But it's just kind of coming up with random things in my head and just trying to get it on a piece of paper and think of how to do closures and how to put it on a model and who's the model. And then the next step would be making patterns, so you can get your measurements from your model, and then you start basically doing the math and just drawing them out on paper, so that way you can cut fabric and muslins and make muslin basically a practice version of what you're making. And then once it's all fitted to your model and it's all good, you can cut your fashion fabric and start working. And it's really exciting when you get to the fashion fabric because you've done all the work, and at this point it should fit and it should look good. And there's always bumps and mistakes, but when it's finished, it's really a good feeling of just having to finish that project and seeing how it comes out. Right now, I'm finishing my athleisure project, which I've made kind of like a gym set that someone could wear to the gym, but also out on the street. And I made a pair of leggings and a little short sleeve crop top. And then I'm also working on my swimsuit project, where it's 50s and 60s inspired, so very modest. And I'm making a high-waisted pair of shorts, swim shorts, and with kind of a bandeau, but what I'm going to do is have suspenders. They don't connect, but they'll just kind of have that illusion of having the suspender throughout the whole swimsuit. And then I'm working on my non-textile garment, which means you cannot use any kind of fabric, and we can't tape or glue them. So it's the project that I'm most excited for. I've decided to make a big ball gown out of cotton balls. So I bought 2,300 cotton balls and a lot of spray paint. I'm gonna paint them, and I'm gonna make flowers, I guess, out of cotton balls and kind of deconstruct them a little bit just to have this big ball gown and kind of create some kind of moment.
Thanks, Ellie. That wraps it up for tonight. Make sure you come back same time every week for the same great entertainment. I'm Colin Froman.
And I'm Adam Hollenbeck, signing off.